Hi guys, Courtney here. Welcome back to your Joyful Era podcast. This is my second episode and it's just me. And I'm so excited because I just feel so called to talk about a few things. And I'm just literally, I'm in my office, I'm in the room by myself on my little dark blue velvet couch that I bought when I was on my own, when my husband and I were separated. And this is now my office couch. And now it is my podcast couch. And I'm so happy about that. And I'm so excited because in a few weeks, I have some guests planned for this podcast. I have some of my friends who are in the same field as me: manifestation, mindset, self concept. You're going to know them. You're going to know them. You're going to recognize them. And I feel so honored because I've had so many people reach out to me and ask, hey, I saw that you have a podcast now. Can I come on your podcast can I come and speak on your podcast? And I'm like, whoa, this is insane. Of course you can. I mean, I full disclosure, I've done podcasts in the past with other people. I had a podcast in like 2020, 2019, 2020. I had one with an old coworker. Um, I loved it. It was fun. And then I had another one 2020 and beyond, like 2020, 2021, with another friend that was very like woo woo. And so as I have progressed in my own journey, and you guys know, like I have moved more towards, I don't, what's the right word? I don't know if it's practical. I don't know if that's the right word. Practical side of manifestation, where I've moved away from um, the woo woo stuff. Like, oh my gosh, the podcasts that I have done in the past with other people, friends, have been like so out there talking about like aliens and tarot cards and energy and like the soul and like spirit guides and all kind of stuff. And I'm not negating any of that. I'm not saying that any of that is not real, but that is not the era that I'm currently in, which is so funny. But also at the same time, as I have moved through my own journey, I have kind of come full circle in a lot of that because, you know, when I started posting on TikTok and when I went through my self concept journey, my specific person journey, it was like, oh my gosh, like, I don't need any of this shit anymore. Fuck a tarot card. Fucking energy reading. Pardon my French, by the way. I use curse words because that's just, I'm a Sagittarius. You know what I mean? I'm very blunt and I will go there. Um, and I just say what comes to my brain, right? If you know, you know, you love me, you resonate with me, and I'm blunt, you do, you don't, whatever. Um, I'm just gonna be my authentic self here, right? I curse a lot. That's just my personality. Um, but when I found Law of Assumption, Neville Goddard, subconscious mind, all that stuff, I realized I have been outsourcing my power to all of these things, right? Like tarot cards, energy readings, astrology. And don't get me wrong, if you follow me, you know I still fucking love astrology. I really do. I love astrology. Astrology is one of my favorite, like, oh my gosh, what would you call it? Like, not a vice. I wouldn't call it a vice. I would call it like a hobby. I don't give it power over me, but I find it really fun. So, like, if Mercury's in the microwave or whatever, because it has been the past 3 weeks and it just went direct this past Monday, um, then whatever. But I will say, Monday, and I am a Cancer rising, by the way, this past Monday, Mercury went direct. Jupiter and Venus were both in Cancer in a conjunction with like some kind of aspect to Sirius, and I don't know anything about Sirius. Don't I'm not a professional astrologer, so like don't at me. You know what I mean? I know just enough about astrology to like get by. But as a Cancer rising, with Jupiter and Venus in Cancer, and Jupiter is apparently exalted in Cancer. Who fucking knows why? Because Cancer is a moody bitch, right? I say that lovingly. I love Cancer. I love being a Cancer rising. I feel like that gives me like my empathy, my mothering, my loving energy that I have because I'm a Sagittarius sun and a Virgo moon, which both of those signs can be like, fuck you, bitch. Fuck everyone else. Don't care about the collective. I don't care about other people. I am about myself, right? But the funny thing about a Cancer rising is the whole journey of a Cancer rising is you spend your whole life putting other people first until and the journey of the Cancer rising, right, is to actually find yourself and start putting yourself first and start nurturing yourself first, right? And finding that balance of, am I going to nurture? Yes, my natural instinct, right, as a Cancer rising is to nurture others, my children, my partner, my friends, everyone. That's the natural response, right? But the journey of the Cancer rising is to turn that back within and to find that within yourself, right? So I have been learning a lot through Jupiter going into Cancer, which apparently Jupiter in Cancer over my rising for the next year until next year, next summer. Apparently, we're the main characters. I accept that. I accept that. I love it. And astrology is fun to me because I look at astrology as it's almost like it's a template. It's like computer programming, if you will. And I have a really good friend. I'm going to shout her out. Jennifer, I love you. If you listen to this, I'm going to make you listen to this because I'm talking about you. I'm shouting you out. One of my really good friends, Jennifer, who is a cool ass bitch. She's a Capricorn. She is a baddie. She's also a manifesting generator. If you know me, I also love human design, which is very intertwined with astrology. I will also say, I know I'm the operant power. I know that none of this has power over me. We are the ones who get to decide the ultimate story, but I look at these things as tools and templates to help you. It's like illuminating along your journey, right? It's this is how I look at astrology and human design. I'm a manifesting generator. My friend Jennifer, also a manifesting generator. We are classic MGs. She is the most fast-paced, outgoing, extroverted person that I know. She has a million different things going on at once. She's doing tap dance. She's a computer coder. She's also a teacher. She's also like a dancer. She's also an actress. She has been in like fucking movies with like big name people. She was in a movie with like Eric Roberts and like the brother of Eva Mendes. Like, this bitch is unstoppable. This bitch does everything. She has been like, she's done everything. She is like, literally, if you look up Jack of all trades, Jennifer is it. And it's because she's a manifesting generator. She's a Capricorn. I haven't looked at her chart, but I would be willing to bet she has a bunch of Sagittarius placements because this girl loves to travel. She's fun. That's Sagittarius energy, right? But she's also a bad bitch, which is Capricorn energy. Okay, so anyway, back to my point. Human design, astrology, it's all just leading us back to ourselves. I look at it as a template. I look at it as computer programming, literally. If you think of the reality that we're in, because a lot of people want to think of it as a matrix, fine, whatever. I love the Matrix. I watched the Matrix again not long ago. It really resonated with me. I love the Matrix. I love Interstellar. All of these movies that talk about like what the fuck we're doing here, whatever. But you have to know you are Neo. You are the one. You, meaning you are the operant power. So I used to look at things like astrology and human design and the transits and the whatever and the Mercury in the microwave and whatever's hitting my chart as like, oh my God, it's doomsday. It's affecting me in this weird way. And now, starting in 2022, by the way, because 2022 was when I realized, actually, I'm the only thinker in my reality. Actually, I'm the only one who gets to decide what happens. I am the one who gives the meanings. I am the one who writes the stories. I am the one who gives the narrative. So, none of this shit has power over me, but I can still use it in a fun way because every version of reality exists. Creation is done. If you can imagine it, then it exists, right? So, the way I look at it is if I like what astrology is saying, then I'll accept it. If it's in line with what I'm manifesting, if it's in line with what I prefer, then sure, cool. I will, yes, that's it. That's my truth. But if it's not, that ain't me. And a good example of this is last year, 2024, December. It was like Cancer was going into Mars was going into Cancer in retrograde or something. I don't fucking remember. Anyway, it was like, oh, for Cancer placements it's gonna be terrible or whatever. I decided that month, December, because I'm a Cancer rising. That's like my biggest fucking placement. Apparently, your rising sign is the biggest placement in your chart. So, like, whatever your rising sign is, that's major. That's major for you. I'm a Cancer rising. I'm a more of a Cancer than I am anything else, right? Mars was going into Cancer retrograde in December of last year, and everybody's all doomsday about it. And I said, you know what? No. Mm-mm. I'm going to have the best month of my life. And you know what? I did. I said, this is not going to affect me in a negative way. If anything, I'm going to have the best month of my life. And you know what I did? I had so much fun. I had the biggest, like, financial month in my business of all time. Like, December of last year, I made so much money. I met with so many clients. It's not even about the money. Like, I connected with so many clients that I love to this day. Like, so many people found me. I was showing up online, like having fun. I Listen, if you know me, the holidays have not always been the best time for me. Like, my birthday is November 24th. So it's always around Thanksgiving. And then, Christmas, the holidays, whatever. In the past, I was usually really depressed and like not having a good time during the holidays. I've never been festive. I've never loved the holidays. I've always been like, that's not a good time for me in the past. But last year, because I made that decision, I'm like, you know what, bitch? Don't care what this says. I'm the operant power. I'm the one who decides. I'm going to have the best month of my life in every way. I literally did the best month of my life ever in business, the best month of my life um with friendships, the best month of my life. Like, I hosted a party at my house, actually several parties at my house. I was so festive. I was like dressing up every day and like holiday stuff, like meeting with clients, like having the best time, like loving my business, loving my life, loving my friends, loving the festivity of it all. Even though astrology was saying, oh my God, like Mars is retrograde in Cancer. So Cancer placements, which is my prominent placement, rising sign, is having the worst time ever. No, no, bitch. I had the best month ever. I had a blast. So here's what I'm telling you. You are the operant power. You're the one who gets to decide. I don't care what astrology says. Same thing in 2022. Oh my gosh. I was manifesting my husband back. I was manifesting a new self concept. I had gone through a time of like feeling really down and like down and out about myself and my life. And I decided I don't want to be this person anymore. And during that time, I was really woo woo. I was like, the tarot cards and the energy and the whatever and everyone else and the signs and the synchronicity is telling me what my life is. No, bitch. I realized and I decided and I came to the realization, right? The truth. I am the only one who decides what my life is. So I don't care if someone close to me just got cheated on. That's not my truth. I don't care if someone else's life is falling apart. Whatever. I'm sorry. I feel bad for them. That's not my truth. I don't care if astrology says it's doomsday. That's not my truth. Because you know what? You're the operant power. You're the one who gets to decide. Astrology is a template, it's computer programming, but you and your consciousness as God, as the operant power, has ultimate reign over that. And I decided that year, that summer, actually, 2022. And it's funny because everything comes full circle. 2025, I'm back to the same conclusion because it doesn't. And I heard another creator say this online today, and I love her. Her name's Rosie. She's on YouTube. I'm going to shout her out. Everything doesn't, it's not over when you wake up. It's like, oh, when I wake up and I realize that I'm with the operant power and I'm God and I'm doing all this and I get to decide, now it's over. No, no, you're still going to fall back asleep. You're still going to forget who you are. It comes in waves, it comes in cycles, right? Where like I go through phases where I'm like, oh my God, like nothing has power over me and everything is what I say it is, and you can't affect me and you can't bother me. But then the 3D shows up with some stuff, some old stuff, and I'm like, oh, this is what it is, I guess. But no, but it's a continuous cycle of having to remind yourself and having to remember who you are. Because for whatever reason, we're here in this reality that is very intentional on trying to make us forget, right? Trying to make us forget who we are and trying to make us forget our power. And it even though I know what I know, and I literally, I teach this. I teach this, but no one is immune. I have so many friends in this field. I have so many friends and so many contacts that I have met through being in the online space. Big people, big name people, by the way. It doesn't matter. I have coached 8-figure business people, billionaires, famous people, people all over the world. No one is immune from the human condition, right? No one. Even though we might know what we know, that's the whole game. We wake up, we fall asleep. We wake up, we fall asleep. But that's the whole game. That's the journey, is to remember yourself and remind yourself of who you are. And it's funny because I feel like it comes in phases, where in 2022, I was so empowered. After, actually, early 2022, I was very disempowered. So if this is you right now and you're feeling hopeless and defeated and you're so sad about the way your life has turned out, I'm telling you, this is purposeful. It's catalyzing. It's moving you towards your empowerment. And it might be in a certain area of your life, and just sit with it and be prepared, because you are going to remember who you are. And child, then you're going to forget again. Just when you think you have everything figured out, just when you think you know, you don't know shit. And I'm willing to admit that, and I'm willing to say that. The more that I learn and the more that I grow and the more that I know, the more I don't know shit, right? Because we're always evolving. But we're falling asleep and we're remembering. And it's usually a different area of life. So in 2022, for me, it was focused on relationship stuff. And I just want to let you know, if you're going through something, no matter what area of life it is, no matter what it is, if it's relationships, if it's business, if it's money, if it's health, if it's body, if it's self-concept, whatever it is, because those are the major things, right? Like love, money, and health. Those are the like 3 main things that everyone wants. We want to be solid in all of those areas, right? No matter what it is, whatever you're going through, it's purposeful. It's for a reason. And you would not be going through what you're going through, especially if it's contrast, if you weren't meant to hack that thing. And every time I've gone through contrast in an area of life, it has led me on a path of hacking that thing. So in love, anxious attachment, not secure, not safe, whatever. The contrast of that led me on a path of finding security and safety and love within myself. It led me on a journey back to myself, right? Same thing with money. Same thing with health. It's all a journey back to self. And all of the contrast and all of the struggles and all of the everything is purposeful. It's all happening for you. It's not happening to you. It's happening for you. And thank God that it's happening. And I know that's easy for me to say, but I'm telling you, I've been through some shit. I have been through some shit. And I'm not comparing my journey to anyone else, but just to like take a little backslide into time, right? My childhood was not fun. I and I and I told you guys I was going to touch on my childhood and my journey and be more vulnerable with you guys on this podcast. And I mean it. I'm going to. And so one of the biggest things I've learned, and I'm going to do that step by step. I'm not going to do it all in one thing. We're going to do it little by little. But, my parents got divorced when I was 2 years old. And I still don't know the truth of what my childhood was because my father wasn't really around, my biological father, and my mom was very unwell. I really, to this day, I think she's autistic, not diagnosed, but I'm diagnosing her as from what I've seen. She's on the spectrum because she's insanely smart, but also not able to function in society. Never been able to like be normal, if that makes sense. Um, and then also like an addict, like been an addict, right? So like this person, like so smart that they passed nursing school without ever cracking a book, but then also lost their license from forging prescriptions because they're an addict. So anyway, that's neither here nor there. That person's on the spectrum. Their parents had them in their 40s. My grandparents were like way old by the time I was born. And then my biological father was never really around. My parents divorced when I was 2. And my bio father, from what I was told from like my aunt and my grandma, he like adored me when I was little, but then got remarried when I was like, I don't know, maybe like 5 or 6. And then chose a different life, which is fine, whatever. That was my path. That's what I came here to experience, right? And then stepfather came in when I was 4. And that's a whole other thing. So, talking about how you pick up traumas, limiting beliefs, stuff from other people, right? But also stuff that's like ingrained that you didn't even realize you were picking up, because a lot of it is not necessarily fed to you. It's just what you internalized, right? From whatever was happening to you. So, with that being said, my childhood felt like a prison, which was just my perception, right? I had a double life, like a dual life. Like I had my home life and I had my school life, where from the outside, it looked normal, it looked cool, it looked fun. And I was a cheerleader in middle school, I was a cheerleader in high school. Like I was popular, I had friends who were like well to do. I like whatever. I had made it, I guess you could say. But my home life, and this is crazy, and I would love to hear the astrology behind this. If I have like um a professional astrologer who would be willing to look into my past and the years and like the transits and whatever and what was going on with me, there had to be some kind of like major Saturn placements, because literally I felt like I was a prisoner as a kid all throughout my childhood until I was like 18, even beyond that. Like, I remember me and my stepfather like plotting, like, okay, my mother is unwell. She's chaotic. She's fucking crazy. We need to get away from her. How are we going to do this? And like, let's just get in. Thank God to my stepfather, because like nobody else was there for me. I remember my grandfather, my papa, who was my mother's dad, being like, well, who's going to take care of Courtney? Who's going to take care of her? Because she doesn't have anyone. She literally has no one. Her father is out of the picture. He has his own family, right? The mother's unstable, right? Who's going to take care of Courtney? It's so funny. Like, I think back on it now, there was no one. But thank God for my stepfather, even though he was toxic as fuck in his ways too, because he ingrained so many limiting beliefs in me that I'm still undoing to this day, right? Especially around like scarcity and lack and abundance and money and fear and stuff like that. Around like hustle culture and like working hard and like you gotta like kill yourself and you're not worthy unless you're like digging yourself in the ground and you don't deserve anything, blah, 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 whatever. Anywho, this is the same person who won $50 million in the lottery, and I haven't spoken to him in 3 years, so I don't know what the fuck's going on with him. But I would be willing to bet he spent it all because he did not change his self concept. And the last time I had any interaction with him, he was very paranoid about people taking stuff from him and taking advantage of him and doing wrong and like whatever, because he still had a lack mentality. So I would be willing to bet, and I'm not saying this judgmentally, I'm saying it from a place of like knowing. If you don't change your self concept, if you don't align your nervous system and your identity with the stuff that you have, you're gonna fucking lose it. You're gonna sabotage it. So anywho, whatever. But yeah, like I my childhood felt like a prison to me. And I feel so far removed from that reality now, where it's like people that I went to school with, it's like they didn't fucking know me. They did not know me. They're like, oh, I know Courtney is like the cheerleader and the like she made good grades and she was a good girl and whatever and she didn't really go to parties and didn't really do this. Right. Because I had a whole other fucking life at home y'all didn't know shit about. Where my mom was a fucking drug addict, and my dad, stepdad, not real dad was out of the picture. Never saw his ass, right? He would pick me up every other weekend before I could drive and take me to my aunt's house. So I never saw his ass. I never had a relationship with him. He never knew me. Still doesn't fucking know me. I don't know him. Don't know anything about him. Don't know anything about his wife. Don't know anything about his kids. I wish I did. Like, I I love you because you're my DNA. He has 2 children that I've never known. If you're listening to this, please know, like, I love you because you're my blood, and I wish that I would have had the opportunity to know you. And I don't blame you, and I don't blame your dad, and I don't blame anyone. I don't blame your mom. I don't blame anyone. This is how the cookie crumbled, right? Um, but yeah, it's so interesting because I just don't I have such a detachment from my former life that it's wild. And I feel like that was not even me. The me from high school was living a double life. Seriously. Like me at school was like, oh, you're the cheerleader, you're the popular girl, you have the hot boyfriend and you have the whatever and you nobody knew where I lived. Nobody knew. I mean, maybe they did. Maybe they did, and I shouldn't know. Maybe people fucking knew what a train wreck my mother was. Maybe they knew. They probably did, honestly, and they just didn't tell me. I don't fucking, at this point, it doesn't matter. But I really believe that I came into this life to break those patterns. To, because I swear, And even my husband has said, like, Courtney, I don't know how you came from your mom. Like, she was a fucking alien. Like, I don't know how you're so normal. I don't know how you're so adjusted and smart and like can function in society because your mom was fucking autistic. Like, seriously. I don't either. The only answer I have for that question is like, I came here to break those patterns. Like, I came here to break those cycles. And even like the negativity, the victimhood, like of my grandparents, of the people I've been around, of my cousins, I'm like, you know what? No shade. I love them. I love my family. But I have always felt like there's something different about me. I'm a black sheep. I used to have so much social anxiety. I would be terrified to even at a restaurant. I'll be terrified to even order off the menu to the waitress because my internal dialogue was so anxious and self doubting. How crazy is that? How crazy is that? And how crazy that I was born and I grew up in such a small place, a bubble. And my mind, my mindset, my everything has expanded so much. That's not an accident. That's not a coincidence. There's no way that I did not come here to break some shit wide open. I came here to break patterns. I came here to be different. That's the reason why I'm different. Me being the black sheep, I used to think was a curse. Why am I not like these people? Why am I not normal? I'm so glad now. I'm not. I'm here to be different. I'm here to break patterns. I'm here to break cycles. I'm here to be the exception. Thank God. Thank God. And people ask me, like, why don't you have any siblings? Well, I do. They're half siblings. And I'm glad. I'm glad. And I hope one day we can have a relationship. And that's a whole different thing. But thank God my mother never had any more children. And my stepfather. They tried. She had miscarriages. This is whatever. I said what I said. It's a good thing. It's a good thing. Because I swear my soul came here to bear the fucking suffering of that shit, to break these patterns so that my children, my lineage, are not going to experience what I experienced. And also, it's just not, it just wasn't meant to be, right? It wasn't meant to be. Thank God. Thank God. Because you know what? Uh, Not that long ago, just a few years ago, and I'm not saying this for sympathy, I'm just saying this as a part of my journey because I don't feel like this anymore. I feel privileged. I feel blessed. I feel grateful to be me, to be where I am. I know it's purposeful. But just a few years ago, maybe like 2017, 2018, and before that, I used to think, why was I even fucking born? None of my parents wanted me. My father didn't want me. My biological father did not want me, obviously. My mother didn't care about me. And the only reason my stepfather stayed around, thank God he did, because I don't know what the fuck would have happened to me if he didn't. That's the only reason he stayed around. And he said that to me one day. I stayed because I didn't know what would happen to you because your mother was so unstable and your father was gone. He was never anywhere to be found, right? So I was an obligation. So I literally used to think, and trigger warning here. I used to think all the time about unaliving myself. Why am I even here? My thought for so long was like, why was I even born? Because I've never been wanted. My parents, both my biological parents, were fucked up. Why? They should. Why did they procreate? They never should have been able to procreate. So why am I here? I shouldn't be here. I'm not wanted, right? And that was a big thing that I had to unlearn, that I had to undo. But this is the thing. I don't feel that way anymore because I know I'm here for a reason. And I don't care if my parents didn't want me because I want me. I want me so fucking much. I'm here because I love me. I choose me. I want me. And I have a greater purpose than any of these bitches. And I mean that respectfully, and I also mean it disrespectfully because fuck all of them. But also not really because they played their part. They're all very unconscious, right? They did the best that they could do, and I forgive them. They don't know any better. They've done the best that they could do with what they knew, which was not a lot, right? Because they're not woke. They have just been passed down the patterns that their parents gave to them. And so I separated myself from whatever they were showing up like. That has nothing to do with me. That has nothing to do with my worth. I'm loved. I'm wanted. I'm chosen. No matter what. I don't care what they've done. I forgive them. They did the best they could do with what they had, right? But I'm not making anything that they've done or not done mean anything about me. And that's the whole thing. That's the difference. And this is what I implore you to do. If you're working on self-concept, a specific person manifestation, even money manifestation, business, whatever you're working on, health, it doesn't matter what you've been through. It doesn't matter what your trauma is. It doesn't matter what your story is. It doesn't matter what your past is. It's the meaning that you're giving it. It's the identity that you're choosing to embody. And I want to encourage you as a person who used to want to unalive themselves out of not feeling wanted, not feeling chosen, not feeling good enough. You are good enough. You are chosen. And you know what? The fact that you've gone through what you've gone through to make you feel unchosen and unwanted might just be your power. Because you know what? All those things have come full circle for me, where I realized I don't need a parent to be proud of me. I'm proud of me. I don't need a parent to love me, want me, choose me, whatever, or a partner, or a client, or a friend, or anyone. I choose me. I love me. That's all that matters. That is your legacy. Your legacy is to take your power back from your parents, from your childhood, from your trauma, from your experience, and to remember who the fuck you are. And you're doing something with that. Maybe you're turning that into something that helps other people. Maybe you're turning that into value for yourself or for others. And for me, that has been so cathartic and so healing and so much of a reminder that it was not for naught. It was not for nothing. I'm here for a reason. I was a black sheep for a reason. I was born to stand out. I was born to be different. And that's my superpower. And I'm so grateful to be able to show up authentically, to add value to the world, to help others, to share my story so that others don't feel so alone. And that's the whole reason I came here. It's the whole reason I incarnated, to break those cycles and to help other people break cycles too. So I love you. I appreciate you. If you've made it this far in your joyful era in this podcast, I love you. Thank you so much. I'm just so grateful for you. And if you haven't found me on TikTok, which I'm sure you have because that's probably where you found me. If not, I am also on YouTube, Instagram, all platforms. I am Courtney Stevenson is my handle. Please like and subscribe everywhere. And I appreciate you and I love you. And I can't wait for the next one. And we're going to dive deeper and deeper and deeper into everything. And I'm so grateful you're here. And I love you. Thank you.